Here's Pura Park coming up over near the outside, and the last along will be Coronel to complete it. 14 fences, 33.50 metres the journey. Coronel coming up. Meadows has a middle gate. Here's Coronel now linking up, and the field is set to go. The Redditch steeplechase to get racing underway at Sandown. Gates are back, they're off. Meadows jump well, so did the Big Grey. Alongside him, Grimsdorf, and away quickly Pura Park and Wild Trista. Lake Thor dropped out towards the tail end early in company with Yo-Yo Joe. Meadows has drifted back a bit too. As they come to the first of 14, it's Wild Trista and Grimsdorf near the inside. Coronel a bit wider out third, followed by Pura Park, and then Knock It Off down near the inside, being trailed by Token. Meadows is on his outside as they leap that, followed by around the neck Art and Les Lake Thor, and outside him is Yo-Yo Joe. So Grimsdorf swings into the lane now for the 5 down the running, with a lead of a couple of lengths from second Knock It Off. Token over on the inside of him, and Wild Trista is deeper out as they go to the third fence in the race. Meadows just behind them, running about fifth or so. Pura Park wide out from Coronel. Art and Les around the neck as they go over this one. And back to the tail end, Yo-Yo Joe in company with Lake Thor. Grimsdorf, the leader, comes towards the third one in the lane. Put a couple of shorties in at it. He lands about a half to 3/4 clear from Knock It Off, going up to just about join him as they come towards the fourth one in the lane. Grimsdorf, Knock It Off, jump and land together. In third placing then is Pura Park over on the outside, being trailed by Token 3 lengths away on the rail as they go to the seventh fence in the race. Token followed by Wild Trista. In behind them, Melos on the rails, and then came around the neck Art and Les Coronel, 3 or 4 lengths to Yo-Yo Joe as they leave the straight now, and Lake Thor sees them all. They go onto the course proper for a short distance here before heading out to climb the hill at the back of the course, and Grimsdorf made play. Pura Park is a neck away and 3 lengths back in third placing Knock It Off. Token enjoys a good run fourth the inside, trailing him 3 lengths back is the favourite Melos. Wild Trista is around him, and they're followed a length and a half further back by Coronel, Art and Les, and then 2 lengths to around the neck Yo-Yo Joe and 2 to Lake Thor. They're about to leave the course proper and head out to the hill at the back of the track, with Grimsdorf climbing up the hill now, the leader, a length and a half clear at the first of the double at the foot of the rise. Over it he goes in front. Grimsdorf in front by a length and a half. Pura Park, Token, and Melos starts his move now. He's moved up to third, followed by Knock It Off and Wild Trista. Grimsdorf's rider's in trouble. I think the reins have broken. There's a rein dangling there. Something certainly has come adrift on Grimsdorf's gear, and he's had to be pulled out of the race when leading. What a terrible tragedy there. Now they're up on top of the hill. Melos is left in front at the double up there, and he lands by a neck. Melos the favourite, clear from Pura Park, 2 lengths to Token. Wild Trista is fourth at the second of the double there, followed by Knock It Off and then Coronel. Yo-Yo Joe followed further back, Art and Les, Lake Thor with around the neck inside them. There's 3 to jump and Melos in front. Pura Park's been doing the business all the way up in front. He's still there second outside the leader. About 4 lengths Wild Trista. Token still hasn't been asked for the big run over on the rails. And behind it 2 lengths away, Knock It Off and then Coronel and Yo-Yo Joe followed by Lake Thor. And well back is around the neck, and Art and Les is last at the third last one now, and Pura Park has taken a slender lead. Melos is still with him over it though. He jumped it very well. Melos comes towards the second last again, a narrow leader. At the second last, Melos over it in front, drawing a length clear now from Pura Park and 2 Wild Trista. Lake Thor's come from last. He's starting to really close on them, and then follows Token, and Yo-Yo Joe is starting to make some ground, but Melos kicked 3 lengths in front round the turn from Wild Trista and Lake Thor. At the last now, Melos comes to the 14th jump. Oh, he wrapped the top of it a bit. Lands by 2. Durden had a look across the shoulder. Wild Trista and Lake Thor are right there. Melos in front at the 200. He's kicked out by 2. He looked home. Lake Thor, Wild Trista try hard, but Melos responds to the whip. Draws clear, and the favourite takes the Redditch steeplechase. Meadows scores well, eased up by 3. Oh, great go the minors. Nothing between Lake Thor, the outside, Wild Trista. Well clear of Yo-Yo Joe around the neck, Token and Coronel. A gap Pura Park, who ran a good race before running out of puff. And then a long break to Knock It Off. And Art and Les was last to finish. Grimsdorf had to be pulled up when leading in the back straight, with the gear going amiss there on him. Here's Knightly Sword going in now, and the field is ready to go. 1,300 metres. Northern Poet on the inside, all clears through. They're off. And Northern Poet slow to move, settled at the back with Yuma Waller, and first out Colette Cuter headed immediately by Damascus Road. Sir Swayze sits in third with Knightly Sword on his outside. 2 lengths away fifth Beige Hunk, followed by Steppens, and behind those is Aussie Dapper. On the outside Yuma Waller is travelling 3 wide and about 3 to 4 lengths to Northern Poet. 900 to go, and Damascus Road is setting the tempo, and it's a good one too. He's a length and a half clear. The favourite Sir Swayze is seconds outside of Colette Cuter, and about 2 lengths further back is Knightly Sword, 1.5 to Steppens and Beige Hunk. Another length and a half Aussie Dapper. Northern Poet's got up on the inside, and Yuma Waters last of all. Nearing the 600 metres now, Damascus Road a length and a half clear. Sir Swayze second, Colette Cuter a neck back third the inside, and 1 Knightly Sword. 1.5 Steppens, Beige Hunk together, followed by Aussie Dapper hard ridden, Northern Poet and Yuma Waller. Damascus Road corners about a length in front of Sir Swayze, travelling okay at the top of the straight. Colette Cuter trying to ease off the hills now, is coming home fairly well from Knightly Sword, and then Beige Hunk. Sir Swayze up to Damascus Road as they got to the 250. He takes the lead and drew a length and a half clear. Colette Cuter's coming home fairly only, and then Steppens and Beige Hunk. Sir Swayze at the 100, more than 2 clear. And for Damien Oliver, it's Sir Swayze to score well. Colette Cuter gets second, 2 lengths away. The winner eased up. Beige Hunk got third, and a photo to Steppens and Damascus Road. Then came Northern Poet and Knightly Sword together, with a gap Yuma Waller and Aussie Dapper dropped out to last. Back to the exclusion of all runners has proven to be far too good. Number 3 the winner, and a very easy one ridden by Bishop's Court. Still away. Epigram stood well. Streamlined is also out behind the barrier stalls at this stage. Here's Joffa Gem going up into a middle line, and now Streamlined to move in. And Walk on Ice is only just arriving at the start too. It'll come into a gate 1 from the outside, and we'll have them ready to run. All in now and racing. And Natasi, one of the first out. Epigram and Joffa Gem both began quickly. Gotham Ruler showing some pace. Bellavita drifts back early, and also Earth, Wind and Fire, who's starting to push through, and Joffa Rissa's behind those. Chirac had dropped out to be last of all. Now Rocky Jester found the rails in the lead, ahead of Gotham Ruler, and wider out as Natasi going up. On their outside too is Bishop's Court. Walk on Ice very deep. Joffa Gem is pushing up in that centre, so it's about 5 across the track. Just behind those horses as they corner is Earth, Wind and Fire. Bellavita over on the inside, and then came Joffa Riss looking for somewhere to go. Bishop's Court is out wide and under the whip, and Jester's a long way back. Gotham Ruler burst to the front near the 200. Natasi and Bishop's Court are running on, followed by Joffa Riss. It's Gotham Ruler in front of Joffa Gem, and green Bishop's Court on the outside, but Gotham Ruler's 2 lengths clear and holds them at bay, and Gotham Ruler goes on to win. Gotham Ruler first, Joffa Gem might have got second. Streamline flashed home. It's in a photo there. Bishop's Court outside them, and then Bellavita, followed by Natasi. Just behind those, Joffa Riss and Epigram, trailed by Walk on Ice, and further back was Earth, Wind and Fire. Jest a long way from them, followed by Chirac, and after showing pace, dropping out to last to finish is Rocky Jester. Gotham Ruler, the winner, number 8, ridden by Kieran McAvoy. 57.4 was the time in a competitive 2-year-old race. Number 8, Gotham Ruler, with a bit of race experience, has proven to be a shade too into a middle gate, and we'll have them right to run. So Royal Wonder moved in next to Cheers Pop and completed the lineup, ready to run. Starter has them 1,000 metres, first leg of the quaddie. All clears through, they're off. Rocky's Pell began well next to Blofeld towards the inside. Pittance and the yellow blinkers out fast, and Rort shows pace with Queen Kahuna. Also showing some speed is Proud Wonder from an outside, Proud Fortune from an outside barrier. Royal Wonder dropped out to be last of all, and the Sting is a good way back. As they settle, Pittance against the rail led. Queen Kahuna is second. Rort is just behind those, followed by Proud Fortune. Joshua's Pride deep but on the pace. Blofeld getting up behind the leading horses from Rocky's Pal and Cheers Pop, and then the Sting, a gap to Contracts and Royal Wonder last. As they corner, Pittance swung wide and Blofeld got up along the inside to have a crack at him now. Then Queen Kahuna on the outside, finishing fairly well. Rocky's Pal is next, and Rort coming home down the outside from Joshua's Pride and the Sting. Pittance and Queen Kahuna at the 200 being tackled by Rort. It's now Rort on the outside getting to the lead from Queen Kahuna, the Sting and Joshua's Pride. Rort is clear though, and Rort takes it out. Rort by about a length. The Sting might have got second from Queen Kahuna and Pittance in a photo. Then Joshua's Pride followed by Cheers Pop. Next Contracts over on the inside with Rocky's Pal. A gap to Royal Wonder, a long break to Blofeld, who knocked right up to finish at the tail end of the field in company with Proud Fortune. Rort is the winner, number 8, ridden by Darren Gauci, 56.9 the time. Came down the middle of the track there, Rort, and has drawn on for a good victory. First up, number 8 the winner. Just the last couple to move along now. We wait Thong Siam and Casharuli to get set. Starter hitting over to the platform with Grace stood up well on the inside. Casharuli comes up into the gates now, and Thong Siam, the outside barrier moved in. All clear. Off they go. Thong Siam began okay towards the outside with Mazera, Marty Zaklar. Little Miss Echo began okay. The Grey Optic Babe began nicely, and so did With Grace towards the inside. Now the favourite, Famous Folly, is about midfield in the middle of the pack there as they settle down. And Marty Zaklar pulling against the rider, slides to the lead over Mazera. Little Miss Echo is a length away third, a length and a half With Grace ahead Optic Babe, who settled down nicely fifth, and 1.5 behind it then Famous Folly getting up on the inside from Casharuli, one Umazuma. A length and a half, Aperto and Witch Ruler together, 1.5 then to Danish Habit. Over on the inside, Yangtze River, followed then by Fairway Lass, Arcade Up and Thong Siam, last of all, 900 to go. And it's Mazere now the leader, 2 lengths in front of Amati Zaklar, and ahead Little Miss Echo the outside. With Grace fourth, the rail from Optic Babe, one Famous Folly, being followed by Casharuli, one to Umazuma, Witch Ruler, and then Aperto over on the fence, followed by Danish Habit, Fairway Lass, Yangtze River, a length to Arcade Up and a length and a half to Thong Siam, last of all. Mazere at the 600 metres a neck, running second Little Miss Echo from Optic Babe. Casharuli coming four wide. Amati Zaklar just behind them with Grace, and then came Famous Folly, who's easing to the outside from Umazuma, and then Witch Ruler as they corner, where Little Miss Echo moved up to have a crack at the lead. She's put the nose in front of Mazera and Amati Zaklar on the rail. 2 lengths to With Grace, and they're followed by Famous Folly, finishing fairly with Danish Habit. It's Mazera again going to the lead at the 200 from Little Miss Echo, then Danish Habit of Perto. Fairway Lass is coming home fairly well. It's Mazera the leader. She's tied. She's a length and a half. Danish Habit, Mazera from Danish Habit, who's closing. Mazera, or maybe Mazera from Danish Habit, little in it. Photo for third too. Perto is in there with a wall of horses across the track. Fairway Lass was there. Yangtze River ran on. Little Miss Echo, Famous Folly aren't far away from Thong Siam, Optic Babe. Then came Amati Zaklar. Back behind those to finish in the race were Casharuli, With Grace, Umazuma, Arcade Up, and Witch Ruler last to finish. Well, this is a photo here, but Danish Habit has got very close. Mazera on the inside might just have it. So too is Summer Rule and Heart of Egypt. Heart of Egypt now coming up into the stalls in company with Ferran to complete the lineup for race 6. Quaddy numbers 8 and 5 so far as we get ready. 1,200 metres a journey. Maggie's Retreat the inside. They're off now. Starter sent them away with the exception of Summer Rule, who didn't want to begin and settles 3 lengths behind them, and Riark bounded out ahead of Feliz Navidad, Timpanet, Melbourne Crown. Maggie's Retreat pushing up along the inside, and they're followed then by Fleischer, Unbeatable Lass, Canby instead, and one for Rayan. Back behind those horses then is Iguazu, Heart of Egypt, Summer Rule and Koi Cowgirl last at the first turn. At the 800, and the leader here is Riak, a half length up on Tipanet. Feliz Navidad is inside Melbourne Crown, and they're followed 2 lengths back in the field. Maggie's Retreat, Fleischer together with Unbeatable Lass 3 wide. One Canby instead, Heart of Egypt, followed by Summer Rule. Iguazu a long way from them, trailed by Forayan, and Koi Cowgirl last as they swing the corner. And it's Riak first round the home turn. The Gouts going for 3, straightened up about 2 lengths. Tipanet, Feliz Navidad. Melbourne Crown on the outside, running home fairly, followed by Fleischer. Then Maggie's Retreat over on the rails, and coming home fairly well is Iguazu. Riak the leader from Tipanet. Melbourne Crown is running on strongly as they reach the 200, and then Fleischer and Heart of Egypt. Melbourne Crown moved up fast on the outside to go to Riak. Tipanet. Heart of Egypt coming home. Melbourne Crown in front of Heart of Egypt though, and Melbourne Crown takes it out, beating Heart of Egypt, and Tipanet close up third from Iguazu, and then Riak. Back behind them to finish with Fleischer, and then Koi Cowgirl, who made some ground, trailed by Forayan, Summer Rule, Feliz Navidad weakening, trailed by Maggie's Retreat, and then Canby instead, and Unbeatable Lass was last of all. Melbourne Crown always travelling beautifully for Brian Park. Polished the race off very strongly in the time of 1:12.5. Good victory here for number 5, Melbourne Crown, ridden by Real Zeal, has gone in, and now Cade to come up into the line, and we'll have them right for the second last, 8, 5 and 5 in the quaddie. Cade coming up, just the 8 runners here, 1,500 metres the journey. Cade drawn next to Loophole on the outside. Coming up, Sober Comment stood well. I like to see that, the grey near the inside. Off they go. And Yuvaraj, if anything, a little slow down towards the inside. Straight's Code bounded out nicely and led Loophole early. Cade out wider, and then My Mate Dudley down near the inside, followed by Sober Comment. One to Yuvaraj, I like to see that. And Real Zeal dropped out last of the 8 runners. At the 1,200 metres, Straight's Code settled 3/4 up. Running second is Loophole. My Mate Dudley wants to over-race a bit third on the inside, followed by Cade. One to Yuvaraj, fifth, being trailed by Sober Comment. And back behind it then is I Like to See That and Real Zeal. They've gone past 1,000 with no change, and Straight's Code made play, a length and a half clear. Loophole is second, a length away third, My Mate Dudley, followed by Cade and Yuvaraj. One further back, Sober Comment, and then I Like to See That, and a length and a half to Real Zeal. As they came down the hill, and Straight's Code's a neck clear. Second the outsiders, Loophole, and 2 lengths to My Mate Dudley. One further back is Cade. Yuvaraj over on the rail from Sober Comment, I Like to See That, and Real Zeal as they neared the turn. Straight's Code led Loophole and neck as they came round the bend. My Mate Dudley third. Yuvaraj has got up behind the leading horse on the fence, followed by Cade, and I Like to See That. Real Zeal still one of the last with Sober Comment. Loophole is having a crack at the leader, Straight's Code, down near the 300. They're followed then by Yuvaraj getting into third and coming home fairly well. Gauchi pulled the whip on Loophole. Straight's Code kicks back on the rail. Yuvaraj coming at them strongly on the outside. Now it's Yuvaraj taking the lead. I Like to See That is going with Loophole, and now it's going to the lead. I Like to See That. He's grabbed them and won. I Like to See That from Yuvaraj and Loophole. Just behind them to finish were Cade, followed in by My Mate Dudley, and then Straight's Code, which weakened. Real Zeal never came into it, and Sober Comment dropped out to last. I Like to See That has finished the race strongly. Ridden by Greg Childs. Judges call for a photo here between I Like to See That and Yuvaraj. It's a camera finish. Rocket Dancer still away. About a half a dozen to move in. Dan Inkling is one of those still away. Cinnabar's rider has a pink cap to distinguish the colours between it and Dan Inkling. And now Picture Princess is moving in. Hindu Dancer is coming up into the line. Broken Pond has moved up into the line. Here's Gold Lady getting ready. And Dan Inkling is going to be the last to move in. All set. 1,200 metres the journey. All clears through, gates are back, and Angel Spirit began fast on the inside. Picture Princess, Look and Ponder both away fast, taking her on early. Min Min Lights is going fast as well, and then Brindle Moose settling just off the pace. At the 1,000 metres, Min Min Lights a narrow leader. Angel Spirit holding onto the rails with her, followed by Look and Ponder. Then Picture Princess, so she's caught out 4 wide there. A length and a half Imperial Trisk, who's got up 5th on the inside of Brindle Moose, and then Gold Lady. They're followed by Paradise Road on the inside. Fizzy Lizzie is around her, and a length and a half. Dan Inkling being trailed by Out with the Old and Cinny Bar on the fence. And then Rocket Dancer and Hindu Dancer last of all as they came to the turn. Angel Spirit through on the rails takes the lead from Min Min Lights, Picture Princess. Look and Ponder under pressure, and then Imperial Trisk followed by Fizzy Lizzie, who needs a burst from there because Angel Spirit kept away. And inside the 400, Angel Spirit 2.5 lengths in front of Imperial Trisk. Look and Ponder. Brindle Moose down the outside. Fizzy Lizzie's only struggling, and Dan Inkling is down the middle of the track. Angel Spirit is clear with 150 to go. Brindle Moose and Dan Inkling out wide are trying to reach Angel Spirit, who has a very big lead. Angel Spirit kept going by Oliver, and Angel Spirit wins it eased up. Brindle Moose second, Dan Inkling a half length away third. Then Imperial Trisk. Fizzy Lizzie didn't come on. Followed by Look and Ponder. Rocket Dancer made some ground, and then Cinny Bar. Paradise Road, Hindu Dancer, followed by Picture Princess, who weakened badly. Gold Lady towards the end, and then a long break to Min Min Lights, who tied noticeably in the run home to finish back there with Out with the Old. Angel Spirit brings up a double for Damien Oliver. Number 2, Angel Spirit, D. Oliver first, so he now goes to